I'd like to show you how to add a GPX to a QGIS project. GPX files are the native collection format for most GPS or GNSS receivers. So if you have a Garmin, or if you're using your iPhone or Android phone with most of the apps to collect points while out in the field, or lines or polygons, they get saved in a GPX file format. I basically need to find where the GPX file is stored. Now, on my various devices, I can pull a chip out, typically on the Garmin, or plug it into my computer and download the GPX. I'm not going to go through that because there's so many different types. But suffice to say that I have to find the GPX file. Now, here's one that I collected while on a recent ski in northern Minnesota. So if I find that GPX file, I can load that GPX. Actually, I can do it a couple of ways. I haven't covered that QGIS can allow drag and drop. So if I left click and hold and drag that file onto my canvas here and drop it, it'll ask me, how do I want to load this vector data set and what do I want to save? I'm going to get both the track points and the track. So GPX often collects a set of points along a string and stores those separately from a line that it collects at the same time, the track points and the track. I'll say OK, and it'll load it. Now, it loads it here in a rather funny way with funny coloring, so I can go ahead and turn off the points for now and change my route to show you basically maybe better where I went. I'm going to do it in blue, and I'm going to thicken the line a bit so it stands out. Apply and OK. And so there you can see my GPS track that I traveled while I was walking. Actually, compared to this line that was the roads that I downloaded, it's doing what looks to be a better job to trace on the surface, although there is some deviation between the line that I walked, the underlying image. This is a 2009 color infrared from the MinGeo site I've described earlier in a different video. And so there's discrepancy, and there often are discrepancies. And this is a data that I downloaded from MinGeo site for the Minnesota Department of Transportation maps, secondary roads. And so I have a line here from one source, a line from another source, and then an image source. And you show that they disagree now. As in the measure tool that I've shown in a different video, I can identify how far they're off by clicking and dragging, and show there's about 7 meters, about 22 feet between the line I walked and the color infrared line. Now, I'm not sure which is right, if this path is correct or the line I walked is correct. Given it was an Apple phone in a pocket, it's likely that the error is some of both, but mostly in my digitizing. But it's still better than the previous data that were collected. So that's how to download a GPX. So the points basically just fall along the line. You might want to use these points in the line segment more often. You're interested in the points when you're downloading a point file. You go and average at a location. Anyway, that's how to load a GPX.